Hey guys, it's Nick and I'm here in front of 100 Center Street in Manhattan. That is the headquarters for the Manhattan District Attorney. This is Friday, one day after they announced the indictment of Donald Trump. I am not alone down here. As you see, a whole lot of people with a whole lot of better camera equipment than me are camped out down here, but the media probably outnumbers the police, probably 3 to 1 or something along those lines. So a lot of people might have thought that it was going to be crazy down here with protesters and anti-protesters and whatever. I came down here to see for myself, but that's not really the case. So I want to talk about what this case is about, how it relates to the financial markets, because they're actually up on the day, and what's going on in New York City with crime and Alvin Bragg, the prosecutor, who has a lot to do with how bad things are getting in this city. So if you don't know, this indictment is supposed to be about Trump in 2016 before he started running for president. He paid off Stormy Daniels about $130,000 as hush money for the affair so his wife would not find out. Also for the election embarrassment it would cause and potentially not get him elected. Now that's not illegal, paying somebody off to shut up, but the way he did it, apparently from what they're trying to say, is that he tried to disguise it as lawyer fees instead of hush money. Now I don't know if there's a category on your 1040 IRS form for hush money, but that's what he did, and that's what a lot of people do all the time. But his lawyer says that Trump actually directed him to do this, to do that payoff to Stormy Daniels, and do it the way he did it. But in a letter of 2018, the lawyer says actually the opposite, that he recommends Trump do it this way. Now keep in mind, the previous DA, Cyrus Vance, and federal prosecutors have also been looking at this to try to charge Trump with something for a number of years now, and they both declined to charge him on this hush money thing as a standalone case because it is so weak. Now this is obviously time for the 2024 election, because they've been slow walking this case since about 2019, and now they come with these charges, and obviously they're looking to charge him or knock him out of the 2024 race for president. And what's the chances of him getting convicted of these charges? Well, Manhattan voted about 86% for Biden, so there's definitely a lot more Democrats that are likely to be on this jury than Republicans or Trump supporters.
You're doing stand-up reporting there?
Huh?
You're doing your reporting?
Yeah.
I'm with the Washington Post. Can I get your name?
No. You want to trade cameras?
No. No, but can I photographed you we're doing a story about the media also too. Can I get your name?
You can watch it on YouTube. Take care.
YouTube, where would I see it?
Around.
I would like to see it, so what?
I'm not a big channel, I'm just a little YouTube channel. Look, I got a little Sony Handycam.
Which is fine though, you know, but
That's
okay.
all right. So let's talk about this prosecutor, Alvin Bragg. According to the Wikipedia page, apparently the people that were investigating this case tried to get him to take this, and he has been declining to take this case, but only recently has he, I guess, had his arm twisted. I don't know. Apparently he wasn't interested in the beginning, but now he is. As always, you have to follow the money, and if you do that, you'll see that Alvin Bragg got approximately $500,000 from the Color Of Change PAC, who right before they gave him that $500,000, they got $1 million from George Soros. So this is a tactic of George Soros to get these DAs elected in big cities and then make them go very soft on crime. And to give you an example of what just happened with Alvin Bragg, so in the beginning of 2022, after he got elected, he came out and said he won't prosecute a whole bunch of crimes, including fare evasion, prostitution, resisting arrest, and cannabis-related crimes unless it's part of a bigger felony involved. Now, he caused a big stir in the beginning of the year because what he did and what he said was that he will not charge somebody with a felony if they commit an armed robbery as long as they don't hurt anybody. All right, so he caused a big stir in the beginning of the year because he said he will not charge armed robbers with felonies as long as they don't hurt nobody when they commit the armed robbery. So basically, you could go and rob a bank or rob a store or whatever with a gun. As long as you don't shoot anybody, it'll be a misdemeanor. So that's the kind of thing that started happening in New York City when Alvin Bragg came into office. He actually drew some heat from that, so he turned it down a little and didn't say like an armed robbery, but like a weapon. So if you use a knife or scissors or something like that, and that's actually what happened, and that was also highlighted. So not long after that, an ex-con who was already wanted by the police went into a Duane Reade's and stole over $2,000 worth of merchandise, and as he was walking out, he pulled out a knife and threatened one of the clerks, and he was arrested later and charged with armed robbery, of course, and because of the new DA, that was reduced to petty larceny. And so a lot of cops are angry about that. They're saying, what are we doing this for if these guys are just gonna reduce these charges and let people get away with robbery and armed robbery as well? Now, of course, not everybody got away with no charges. You had the case in July of Jose Alba, a bodega worker in Washington Heights, who was attacked by a much younger, much bigger guy who came behind the counter and started attacking him because his girlfriend's card was declined when she was trying to buy some chips, and it made him angry, and he came and attacked this guy, and this guy, Alba, pulled out a knife to defend himself and stabbed him and killed him, and it's all on camera for everybody to see that it was self-defense, yet he was charged with murder, okay? And so there was an uproar about that it was obvious self-defense, and they charged this guy with murder, basically letting the criminals go and letting the innocent people rot in jail. And so that's the kind of DA that Alvin Bragg is. Now, I hope that gives you some perspective to what's going on in New York and what these charges mean, because a lot of people are saying, you know, they're nonsense charges. They wouldn't charge Trump with this if he wasn't this guy that they hate and he's running for president. And the other thing to think about is they've been trying to get him since 2016. They've been doing this investigation since 2019. They got federal investigators investigating and dropping and declining to pursue any charges because they know the case is so weak. So what are people thinking about this? Obviously, there's no big crowds here or anything like that except for the reporters. And stock market is up today, even though this sets a precedent of going after political rivals in this country, which is like a banana republic that we are becoming, minus the bananas. So should you be worried about this? Yes, because this sets a very, very bad precedent that anytime you have a political rival, you just dig up some dirt on him. And like the book, I think it's like 5 felonies a day or something like that, that there are so many laws on the books that if somebody wanted to, they could find something to charge you with. Like they say, the DA can charge a ham sandwich if they wanted to. Now you might be saying, well, Trump did pay this $130,000 hush money, so there got to be something illegal about that. Well, if there was, you and me would both be in jail because we have both paid hush money for bad sexual conduct. And what does that mean? Because between about 1995 and 2017, the U.S. government paid out $17 million for sexual harassment and other cases done by our Congress people. There have been about 268 cases where they paid off this $17 million in total. Now this includes sexual harassment, groping, kissing, unwanted touching, and other maybe non-sexual items as well, but all of this is paid for by us, and we don't get to see the details. We don't get to make them air their dirty laundry to see who's doing what of our representatives. And speaking of who's doing what, here's one other thing. They spent all this time bringing this case about, and yet we're still waiting to see who is in the little black book of Ghislaine. And I gotta say, I would bet a lot of those Congress people who had their sexual harassment cases or whatever paid off might be overlapping with some of the people in that Ghislaine book. So don't hold your breath, but this is where we are in this country and in New York in specific. So guys, this is where we are on this case here. Donald Trump is not around. He's still in Florida apparently, and apparently he's gonna come in Tuesday and I don't know, get arrested, get fingerprinted or whatever. But just realize, guys, there's two sets of rules. One set of rules that they apply to the people that they don't like, and the other set of rules that they apply to the people that they like. So keep that in mind. I hope you like this one, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.